Hi, welcome to Star Power Alchemy YouTube. My name is Alejandra Sofia and I'm tuning in to Jupiter and Uranus changing directions this weekend on August 11th, 2019, and the significance of it inside of the Leo new moon that we're in from July 31st until the next new moon on August 30th. And also how it's taking us into the fall. It's the beginning of the fall energies. With Jupiter and Uranus both changing directions. So here's a little bit more of the setup. So on August 11th, we have Jupiter right now stationing and preparing to change direction into direct motion from 15 degrees Sagittarius. And for all the astrologers listening, anybody who tunes into astrology, and I always round up, so it's 14 degrees in some minutes, and I round up to the 15th degree. And I do this for all the degrees when I mention degrees. And so Uranus changes direction from retrograde motion until direct motion. So right now there's a feeling of a little bit of stagnation happening, but it's because things are getting ready to shift gears. And this is a phenomenal moment right now because of the significance of this new moon in Leo that is packed with Leo energy. And inside of this really powerful crossroads that we're really in on a collective and individual level. And so you may be feeling that for yourself in your own way. Just things are really shifting and we're really being asked, the people that are open to consciousness, the people that are open to really opening up their, stepping into, on the path of your human potential and receiving all that is possible for you. It is essential to activate the highest frequency, and it's only through the heart that we can activate that highest frequency. So societally and globally and individually, we're up against some crucial inner factors of claiming our true domain. And the true domain of selfhood is based on love, and where love is energy, where love is light optimally vibrating everywhere. Light optimally vibrating everywhere. And so it's through the energy body of the human system, of the human energy system, the chakra system, and tapping into the deep intuitive channels that is available to each and every one of us to tap into the template of who you really are, that we're being called at this time of this particular month. And the month is made up of the word moon. And this moon month that we're in is through Leo. And so this Leo energy, that's so important to really understand, that you're being asked to rely, for those of you who are wanting to truly empower yourself from the inside out and take up a path that is truly joyful, truly fulfilling, tapping in deep to your desire channels, your rightful desire channels that tap you into your dreams, your visions, and your creativity, to activate your willpower, to activate your free will, and intuitively and instinctually, and to a certain extent, give yourself the self-recognition you need to put yourself in your own power seat, because that's really what's happening right now. And so the Leo channel is a vital force of self-reckoning. It's a vital force of self-recognition. It's a vital force that is instinctual and is intuitive. And remembering that Leo is a fire, it's a double fire sign. Each sign has two elements that I give to it through the two astrology systems that I study, which is traditional astrology and star genesis. And you can check out stargenesiswisdom.com. Elias Lonsdale is the progenitor of star genesis, and through his system I use an element to associate the signs, and then through traditional astrology. So each sign has two elements, and Leo is the only sign that has fire and fire. And that really speaks everything, speaks so powerfully to what this sign is about, and it's your core selfhood. And that the picture, the image that I associate in the tarot deck is the Chariot. To be in your warrior power, to be in your solar plexus channel, your confidence boosted inwardly by your own self-recognition, your own self-respect, your own self-understanding. And there's no greater understanding than love. So this really counters sociopaths and psychopaths, you know, who absolutely seem confident and are confident, but they lack, there's some severely twisted up realities happening inside of those pathologies. So this is the path of love. This is the path of light optimally vibrating everywhere in your channel. Pardon me, I just dropped something. And that channel originates, its origins are in the human energy body, is through the solar plexus. And nothing can truly be divided because we're all interconnected. And that's the paradigm that we're consciously and scientifically, spiritually, hugely shifting into, and is the crux of this crossroads that we're in on a global humanitarian level, of those of us who are willing to step up consciously, actively, through our willpower, through our self-understanding, our self-concept, and our concept of the universe and how the universe works, step into our channel of creativity and self-identification with that. And so that's already what's happening in general with this Saturn-Pluto conjunction that's been forming, that came into a 10-degree orb of conjunction on December 22nd, 2018. And winter solstice was the day before. So that's winter solstice is the beginning of the natural new year. And so this really speaks to, from this year is one of the most powerful years that we're inside of, that is resonating with the power of when the two planets actually come together the exact conjunction of Saturn and Pluto in the sign of Capricorn on January 12th, 2020. And the last time Saturn and Pluto came into a conjunction in the sign of Capricorn. So Saturn-Pluto conjunct about every 35 to 36 years. So that's not uncommon, but still that is a significant amount of time, and as it is. But the last time they came into a conjunction in the sign of Capricorn was in 1518. And Pluto in Capricorn, the last time we had Pluto in Capricorn was during the American Revolution in 1776. And in fact, the chart of the United States of America, the birth of the United States of America, July 4th, 1776, has Pluto in Capricorn. So that is another significant thing that's happening in the United States in general, specifically. Whereas if you look at the United States, and I want to really bring this in for all the people who are just in terms of global consciousness and awareness, whether you're American or not, of what's happening inside the United States is so hugely significant. And we are all individuals that make up this, the bits and pieces of the total consciousness and awareness or unconsciousness and lack of awareness of the body of humanity. So it is significant to understand that if you're born in the United States, or in any way, becoming a citizen of the United States, or any way that you're interacting with the United States in general, and also just to watch what's happening on the global stage, the United States is preparing for, we're inside of the first Pluto conjunction of the United States. So that's part of what's happening. Then the Pluto conjunction's hugely significant and speaks to a tremendous, powerful awakening on huge levels. And so it takes each one of us, and especially if you're American, to understand that is a chart that is an energetic that affects you. That the fact that you can put that chart, the United States chart, in your chart, because we are woven into that. We are the children. Anyone born in the United States is a child of the United States. And so that is playing a deep part in your psyche. And that's why I'm so intensely going into this, is to understand the moment that we're in this Leo new moon energy, with Jupiter and Uranus preparing to change directions. So right now, before it's actually happened, which is when I'm tuning into it on August 9th, there's a feeling of a new levels are possible. Jupiter in Sagittarius wants to take you in a new direction inside of yourself. So it's important to philosophically make adjustments in your thinking, and because that is one of the significant things that Jupiter and Sagittarius is doing this year, making a 3 squares to Neptune and Pisces. It's those are the dreamers, and I mean, in fact, Uranus is an activator of vision. These are all visionary. Jupiter and Uranus are future bearing pulses. And so with Jupiter making a square, I'm bringing in 3 different planets right now, but Jupiter and Uranus are the ones that are changing direction on August 11th. But inside of a year in which Jupiter is making 3 squares to Neptune and Pisces, speaks volumes to the epic opportunity we each have to tap into our dream world, tap into our imagination, and really dream our dream, become creator beings. And it's going to require philosophical shifts in belief system, fundamental belief system shifts in how the universe works, to really undermine those unconscious forces that have been structurally bred into us, institutionalized thinking to make us think smaller and in diminutive states, and to be fed a ideology and that is born of so much corruption as it was, in terms of the reasons why there's a lot of reasons why we have these divisive ideas about the earth and how it really works. But I'm not going to go too heavily into those potential those realities. What I really want to get across is that there are darker forces, and there's no greater dark force than our own lack of belief in ourselves. And so this Leo new moon is really here to upgrade you and for you to have a deep, intimate conversation with yourself. But it's on an energetic level. It's an energetic talking yourself into who you really are. And so there's definitely learning to be who you are, and really stepping into who you are, stepping up to who you are, being called in these different directions, acts of bravery and courage and creativity, all those things that you can do for yourself to empower your reality and really step into who you really are and take yourself in new directions. And that's part of the significance of the shifts that we're getting ready to experience coming in next week and through until the end of fall, because with Jupiter going direct on Sunday the 11th, and then Uranus changing directions, it is exactly like that, like train tracks shifting. And so be prepared and be open to making some what might seem like sudden new, like, I can't, oh my God, I'm gonna do this. And it's a revolutionary energy. And so there could be like, I'm done doing this. I'm done not believing in myself. I'm done. It could feel like a leaps of faith. And I do think that we need those energetics very much. And I also feel that the practical pieces are just as important. So keep whatever new path you're taking up, whatever new decision that feels really big for you, of like, whoa, this is a leap of faith. This is risky. It feels risky. I feel vulnerable. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. Oh my God, is this okay? Just back it up with knowledge, back it up with practical know-how power. And that's part of the importance of Saturn and Pluto and Capricorn, and in the sturdy backbone that Saturn and Capricorn wants to give you. It's like, you know what, you can with effort, with energy, and with know-how and being willing to make mistakes as well, but keep getting the information, keep finding the mentors to help you with your structural changes. And but also remember, there's no the intuitive, like, get help and learn from masters, learn from other people that you admire, but also know you're doing it your way. That's the important thing, is that you are integrating timeless wisdom, but there's also the wisdom of your own self-knowledge that needs to be activated. And so that is this month that we're in, this rich month of Leo. And please, check out my video below for the Leo new moon attunement. But we've got 5 planets, well, 4 planets and 1 asteroid in the sign of Leo, all making there's a grand fire trine in here, and then Uranus. This is the significance of who Uranus and Jupiter are in this new moon chart, is that Uranus is squaring the new moon energy. So, and then Jupiter's trining the new moon energy, and it's also trining the Mars energy in Leo. So with these 2 planets now shifting direction, because the new moon chart was seated with the Jupiter and Uranus stationing at the degrees that they're changing direction in. So they're, again, that really speaks to, again, just looking at Jupiter and Uranus, they're the visionaries. Jupiter is the one in you that wants to open up to more of what's possible and what you once thought, and be open to moving something that seemed impossible into the realm of possibility and going for it, even if it's, and absolutely, because it's unconventional, and it's really time to take up new acts of bravery, new acts of individualism, but in ways that are positive. And clearly right now we have a lot of examples of acts of individualism that are unhealthy and that hurt people. And I don't need to name those events, because you know what I'm talking about, and whatever comes up for you with that. Individualism that harms people, that hurts people, is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about individualism that is humanitarian, that cares, and that's the true Jupiter energy. That is the light, that is love being activated optimally, vibrating everywhere through you, that wants to channel through you and use magically, create magic, create love, create commonwealth, create goodwill, and all those ways. It's goodwill to yourself and goodwill to others, love for one another. That's Jupiter. Jupiter's global. Jupiter is large circles of you belonging in you blessing your world with your positive action and your own personal upliftment in the ways that you love yourself and are uplifting yourself daily, and learning how to keep yourself uplifted. And in all the different ways, the tools of how to navigate the times that we're living in with everything that we're up against. And there's only one you, there's nobody else living you out except you. And to really take that up with deep self-respect, deep respect for the universe, deep understanding that you are a blessing and that you are a gift, and you're a gift to yourself, and you're a gift to this earth, and all the ways that you can take that in any direction that you really want to move in, and release yourself from what you think you have to do. And so, and check that, what I mean by that. So check what you believe in. Check what you believe in. This is really important, to be open to new belief systems that allow you to experience more of who you are, push you beyond your comfort zones, and are positive. And you can ask yourself, is this positive? Is this positive for me and other people? And you can get those immediate answers. And that's part of what this month of Leo is about, is learning to listen to yourself, learning to listen to that fiery, intuitive, immediate access you have to yourself when you ask yourself a meaningful question, and boom, there's a response. So call and response, call to your own soul and your soul will respond. So with August 11th and then moving forward, so Jupiter retrograded back in April at 25 degrees Sagittarius. And so now it's stationing and moving direct at 15 degrees Sagittarius. And there's a liftoff degree, there's a liftoff energy, a blast kind of move, I'll just call it the liftoff degree, 25 degree frequency through the sign of Sagittarius, really speaks to the energetics of what this Jupiter retrograde cycle is about, and this whole year of Jupiter and Sagittarius, that we're really going to feel new levels of opportunity that we're both creating and that are coming to us because we're becoming active. If you're becoming an active co-creator, stepping into that co-creative reality that synchronizes you, and to experience the serendipity that occurs when you come into co-creative energy with the universe. And so that again is part of the love energy, the love light optimally vibrating everywhere. And you step into a synchronized reality, and you step into natural positivity, you step into natural energy. And that's actually what we're stepping into, is to engage natural energy. Natural energy is positive. And yes, we have in the creative energies of this universe, we have destructive energies, and we do need destructive energies in order to create the new. But it's learning to, as a creator being, is to use destruction to the benefit of creativity, of caring for one another, of participating within the universe, in this earth, in a positive way that is beneficial to this earth. So really bringing your gifts fully to the table is what we're heading into in this fall energy. And with Uranus, with Jupiter, now once it moves direct and it's opening up the fall energies. It's the first planet that moves direct of the three major ones that are moving direct, and the other two are Saturn and Pluto. Saturn moves direct on September 15th, and then Pluto moves direct on October 2nd. And so Jupiter's now going to go through all the degrees it just went retrograde in. That's 10 degrees. And this particular degree of 15 degrees Sagittarius is a bridging degree. It is about stepping into opening up your doors into the living future. And so from August 11th until October 8th, Jupiter is going over all those degrees. And then once from October 8th until December 2nd, Jupiter moves past into 25 degrees Sagittarius and beyond, and then graduates, moves into the sign of Capricorn on December 2nd, 2019. So that tells me that things that you may have been working on this year, and things that have really been coming into and what you've been stepping into are about to step into a whole new level. As you're doing two things, you're expanding and downshifting. And so I say downshifting because it's also important to simplify as a way of reorganizing yourself. Just get into the bare essentials. And that's where Uranus comes in the sign of Taurus. Now, this is the first year we have Uranus retrograding back in the sign of Taurus while it's staying in the sign of Taurus. Last year, it moved into the sign of Taurus and then retrograded back into Aries. So this is whatever you started in this last year, and especially since last October, there's an energetic that connects us to last October of 2018. Whatever you started, maybe it's not moving fast enough. That's part of it. It's just learning to synchronize yourself with the flow state, the natural flow state of the universe and how it works. And as you learn to do that, that is part of the simplifying yourself. To ground into yourself, to really connect into the here and now, connect into your sensual body. Taurus, simplify your philosophies, simplify how you view life, appreciate the moment, really appreciate what it is connecting in with your vessel, because that is the power of being here, this gift of being who you are, this gift of being in your body, this gift of color, of plants, of playing with reality and really feeling it. That's the awakening that's happening inside of Taurus. Are you being present with your now? Are you constantly looking at the future? Now, it's important to learn how to harness past, present, future so that you can come into synchronization with flow state. And so that does mean a constant clearing out and meditation, aligning yourself, synchronizing yourself with daily ways of connecting with the natural energy of this universe. Meditation is a natural act of the human being to come into that high vibrational template of just sitting with yourself. It's natural to us to just actually sit and feel and flow and clear and clear out the past, because we're constantly moving in the present through past, present, future. And so that's a lot. If we're not processing the pieces effectively, they get stuck inside of us, and then we have difficulty flowing with the future and focusing our mind into future, learning how to go frontal lobe to activate the brain and step into its potential. Is you learning how to work with yourself, learning how to work with the human brain. And so that's where also continuing to study, learn neuroscience, any information that's helping you change your brain, helping you to bridge into new realities and clear out, to prune that neural network that is negative and is keeping you in a diminutive state and in disempowered states, lethargic states, lazy states, not believing in yourself states, not activating inaction, negative inaction that is lethargic and creates negative energy, so stagnation. And as you learn to activate yourself, these are all key things that I'm speaking to with Jupiter and Uranus getting ready to change direction, because these are high vibing energies and they want to downshift you and they want to uplift you. So continuing to, again, downsize in the areas of like, I've got too much going on and I'm not in enough self-care. Uranus wants to help you get into more self-care. That's the awakening, that simple awakening that wants to happen in those first few degrees of Taurus. Is just grounding you in the simplicity of just being in this body, in this garden, and that your mind, to really feed your mind positivity, feed your garden positivity to make your dreams grow. And in order to make your dreams go, you got to know what to do and what directions to go in. And it's essential to go into the direction of just learning how to be and connect with yourself, connect with who you are, connect with that inner intimacy. That's also that Taurus, the early degrees of Taurus, is the inner intimacy of self with self, of you just connecting in with who you are. And so that's also going to help you feel where you're giving too much energy to the internet, too much energy to all the other places, too much energy to your phone, too much energy that just aggravates you. And as you tune in on a physical level and sensual level and learn to connect with that, you're synchronizing with your natural body wisdom and your body telling you, no, that's enough. I've had enough of that. And no more binging on that, whatever it is. And so it's also essential to change your diet and to come into an uplifting diet. And it's a daily diet of all the things that we're taking in and consuming from on a food diet level to what we're watching, in terms of social media, YouTube, anything that you're watching, what are you taking in sensually? What are you taking in through your physical senses? That's part of shifting into like, I can't do this anymore. And also to know that in any way that you're participating with the collective, the collective technology is where, as we are living in a time in which there's a lot of information coming in, and that's just gonna keep increasing. So learning how to mature yourself through this new world that we're suddenly living in, and that's really come in and fast and furiously and excitedly as well in the last 10 years. And we can really look back on that, the last 11 years, 12 years, really, with the introduction of the iPhone and the introduction of the iPad, and how technology, the industrial technology, has just really amped us in the last 12 years. And so now, with all of us who've had time to be with that, it's time to really shift and come into a right relationship with technology. And so that's where nature comes in, that there's no greater technology than nature. And that's part of what we're going to be doing for those of us who really are learning, wanting to elevate, wanting to synchronize with our highest potential and our high vibing self and our true self. And is to these next 6 months, with Uranus being retrograde until January 11th. And remember, earlier in this video, if you're still with me, January 12th of 2020, we have Saturn and Pluto coming into a conjunction. So that really speaks to early January is an incredible time of awakening, with Uranus going direct on January 11th and then Saturn and Pluto in the midst of a greater conjunction, which I will speak to on another time. But the most significant thing is January 12th, we have the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. So that already says right there, January 11th, January 12th. And really, in terms of space-time continuum, it's just all the energetic of the early month of January in the Capricorn new moon eclipses that we're going to be inside of. So what now has to do with it? What right now has to do with it? August 2019, and especially as we're heading into after the week of August 11th, a whole new energetic in which you're going to be taking new leaps of faith and acts of courage and courageousness and bravery and creativity and downsizing and clearing up where you're staying in low vibration and coming into high vibration and learning what that means for you on your terms. So getting the ideas that you need from other people, but really integrating it in a way that's, oh, this is me. This is actually me. This is what I believe. This is what I want. And so that's in all those ways, we're learning to downsize of like, yeah, I always thought I wanted that, but I really don't. That's just something I took on as what I thought I had to do. It's just the way the world works. So I believe that that's what I had to do too. And that's not what I actually want. So those kinds of downsizing. So that's what's happening right now with the significant shift in energies that we're upon on August 11th, and then moving forward into as we wrap up summer and this is on a general level, head into the September energies. We've got some big September energies, and then this whole as we head into the fall in 2019. So get ready. Be prepared, be open to making some changes that you need to make. It's essential to, as you're rolling with the changes, that is the natural energy of the universe. It's a change. And as you come into conscious, co-creative change with the universe, then you're an active participant in that. And so it's time to make some changes. It's time to make those shifts. It's time to move to new levels of yourself through downsizing and stepping out in bigger ways with who you really are, and sharing and being a participant, a wholehearted participant on the planet. So sending you all much love. Please check out all my videos below in the descriptions. Thanks for sticking with me, and please subscribe to my channel. Much love.